Hey guys, it's Sim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It means tonight was AEW Dynamite, and I just gotta say this. I just gotta say it. Tonight's show had good wrestling, but it was a nothing happening show. Like literally, I can't think of anything that happened that was of note. I can't think of anything on this show that really fit well into like any of their storylines. At all. Anything. Like they kind of built up for the tag title match next week with Big Bill, Ricky Starks, Sting, and Darby. They, for God knows why, are doing another Swerve Hangman match where Swerve's already won twice, and then just a bunch of matches that really didn't matter. Now, we do know that the rankings are coming out tonight at some point. We don't know when, but they did tell us that the rankings will be posted sometime tonight. And so I'll be refreshing Twitter to see when those get posted, whether that's by the official AEW account or Tony Khan. I don't know. But I'm looking on both of those accounts. Nothing yet. But it's like nothing of note happened on this show at all. There was just a bunch of matches, and that was it. Mojo just says, where was Ricky? There was a backstage segment, a sit down. Which, that proves my point right there. You didn't even notice it or see it? There was a lot of missable things on this show. Like, the show goes off the air. Modern Family starts playing, and I go, wait, it's over? I look down. Oh, it's 7:05. It's over. That's how nothing happened in this show was. To the point where I didn't realize the main event was the main event. I didn't even realize that the Hangman Swerve thing at the very end was the close of the show. All of a sudden, Modern Family's just on, and I'm like, yeah, the show's over. Okay. Huh? And I mean, that's how a lot of these AEW shows have been feeling. I don't watch Rampage. I rarely, if ever now, watch Collision because they just feel like matches for matches with no stakes that aren't really building to anything. Like, I get it. On Collision, they've been doing the whole FTR House of Black stuff. They randomly threw Daniel Garcia in there. And then they had the cage match. But I'm going to watch Royal Rumble over that. And so, yeah. Jonathan says, I stopped after John Moxley and Jeff Hardy. Yeah, like, John Moxley and Jeff Hardy was a fun match. I wouldn't call it great or anything. Jeff Hardy was hurt before he even walked out there. Jeff Hardy literally climbs in the ring and goes, like he got up on the ropes and was like, grabbing his back. I don't know if he was trying to sell from the Swerve match or if he's just legit hurting. But yeah, I just felt like good wrestling. I will say that. Good wrestling all around this show. Really good. But when you're looking for, this ain't just a random New Japan show. This ain't just a random CMLL show where it's like we come here just for the matches. Matches for matches with somewhat story. No, you go to AEW because they say they've got story. They say things make sense, things matter. No, you brought back the rankings just so you can do a third Hangman Swerve match that doesn't even need to happen. Yeah, they're going to be both tied at the top of the rankings, one undefeated. But like, shouldn't, and I know what the answer is going to be. Shouldn't they do the whole, well, Swerve's beat Hangman twice. There's your tiebreaker. But you know what they're going to say? Oh, these rankings restarted at the beginning of the year, so now that doesn't even matter. And that's how they're going to get to a third Hangman Swerve match next week. I just feel like there's so much nothing happening on these shows. It's just Tony Khan playing EWR going, what match is going to give me the best rating? What match is going to give me the best star rating? And that's about it. So we'll recap it. We'll talk about it. Good. Like I said, great wrestling on this show. Like really good matches overall. Jeff Hardy and Moxley was really good, even though the post match sucked. Hangman and Toa Leona, that was a super fun match. Even the Wardlow match sucked. Wardlow matches are boring. Wardlow hurt himself tonight, I'm pretty sure. But then even like Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie, those two never miss together. Those two always have really good matches against each other. And then even the main event, hardcore match, RVD and Swerve. Fun, great, I guess, main event. Like I said, that match is going on They do the post match and the show's just over, and I go, it's over? That's it? That's how nothing happened in this show was. But I don't know. We'll see if they get better going forward. And you know that they're building towards a pay-per-view on, I want to say, March 9th, is it? Is it March 9th? Revolution pay-per-view, AEW Revolution 24, March 3rd. So they literally have, after today, 1, 2, 3, 4 more Dynamites. 4 Dynamites and 1, 2, 3, 4 collisions to build up that show. Where we kind of know some matches. We know it's the Young Bucks versus Sting and Darby. We know it's going to be Joe against either Hangman or Swerve. It's going to be Deonna versus Tony Storm. And that's all I really know for now. I would have thought maybe Jericho and Takeshita, but they're doing that like next week, I guess. So we'll see. Jonathan says, I watch your reviews after Dynamite ends. If something interesting gets my attention, I go back and watch the match segment. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad that I can be that sounding board for you and tell you, hey, maybe you should go back and check this. Or, hey, this wasn't all that great. But again, if I do seem distracted a little bit, I'm refreshing Twitter, waiting for the rankings are out. Let's pull these up on the screen. The rankings have been revealed. So these are the rankings for AEW. There is a men's division, a women's division, a tag team division, and a trios division, as you see here. So, oh no. So they didn't even give us numbers. So why do we... So before they would tell us this person's 6-1, this person's 5-0, you know what I mean? We don't got any of that now. None of that. So these could be fabricated from whatever. Like Swerve is listed as number 1. Just give him the number 1 contendership then. Make him going after Joe. But at the same time, you have the men's ranking and the women's ranking. But what matters for what? Like, which of these 5 are going after which of these 4 titles? Which of these 5 are going after which of these 2 women's championships? Is it just going to be number 1 goes after the men's, number 2 goes after the TNT, number 3 goes after the international, number 4 goes after the continental? No, it's not, because we know number 5, Roderick Strong, wants the international. We know number 3, Adam Copeland, wants the TNT. He wants Christian. But then again, here's the other thing that we got to talk about with all of this, is the level of competition you're also facing. Because we've seen with Adam Copeland in the Cope Open, he's just facing like Griff Garrisons and Lee Moriarty's to pack wins. But we don't even know how many wins he has. We don't even know how many losses he has. None, of course. But it's like, they're not even putting oh my God, they're not even putting, how do I say this? The numbers, the rankings, the stats. That's the right word, stats. On these rankings like they did before. At least when they had the stats, they made a little sense. Now, they don't got to make any sense. Now, they don't got to matter for nothing. Like, how is FTR and Daniel Garcia a trio? Like, what, huh? They're a legit trio now? I don't know. We'll see how they use these rankings, but the rankings are back in AEW. Let me know your thoughts and what you think of these rankings. I'll put them back on the screen one more time for you guys to see. We'll just read them off really fast. We have all the champions in the men's division. Joe's the world champion. Christian is the TNT champion. Orange is the international champion. Eddie's the Continental Crown champion. Then number 1 is Swerve. Number 2 is Hangman. Number 3 is Copeland. Number 4 is Moxley. Number 5 is Strong. We have in the women's division, we have Toni Storm as the women's champion and Julia Hart as the TBS champion. Deonna Purrazzo is number 1. Thunder Rosa number 2. Hikaru Shida number 3. Sky Blue number 4. And Mariah May number 5. How many matches Mariah May worked? 2? That's it? 2? Maybe? 1? I'll go look. Then we have in the tag team division, Sting and Darby are at the top. where, and this already null and voids what I said earlier about, well, do these rankings only count for this year? Sting and Darby are like, we're 27-0. They're counting forever. John Silver and Alex Reynolds, I don't remember seeing them ever get a win this year. Bryan Danielson and Claudio. Private Party at number 4. And then Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta at number 5. When did they teamed like once? So as far as the trios do go, we got the Acclaimed and Daddy Asses as champions. Bullet Club Gold at number 1. But they're also champions in the ROH. So ROH titles don't count anyways. That's a good thing. The Hardys and Mark Briscoe. Dark Order at number 3. FTR and Daniel Garcia at number 4. And the House of Black at number 5. But it's like, well, when did Dark Order have a match and did they even win? Like, none of these make sense to me. A lot of this actually doesn't make sense to me. So I guess we'll just see how they all do actually play out. But these rankings, to me, are kind of just bullish. Kind of just mean nothing. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, App Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you're watching, you can watch on YouTube. You can do a couple things over there. You can hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live, post a new video, or post in the community tab. You can hit that join button to become a channel member or donate Twitch bits, or no, donate a super chat in the live chat. Remember, all super chats do get read live on the air, so it's the best way to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Also, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, an older game like Horizon Forbidden West, maybe you're getting some of the games that are on free or on sale right now, like The Second Before the War, or Locke's Quest, or maybe you're claiming the free game, Infinifactory. Use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Again, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. But with that, so let me retweet these rankings really fast. AEW has released the new official rankings. What do you think of them? I think they're kind of bullshit. So, as far as the show does go, the show opened up with Jeff Hardy, Jon Moxley. And Jeff Hardy's coming down to the ring, and he looks like he's in pain. He looks like he's hurting already before the match even starts. And they do show us a number of wrestlers from CMLL in the front row. Mystico, Volador Jr., Mascara Dorada, and I'm going to butcher this name, the guy that's fighting Danielson on Saturday, Hechikoro? They're all sitting in the front row, and they're watching this match. They're representing CMLL, whatever you want to say. So I guess they're working Collision and Rampage this week. And technically they're working next week's too, as we're going to learn here in a minute. But as far as the match itself does go, Moxley almost immediately wrenched at the hole in Jeff Hardy's ear, but Hardy dumped Moxley to the floor, and the brawl continued. Excalibur said that he was told that the rules in this opening match will be relaxed. What the fuck does that mean? What does it mean by the rules will be relaxed? It means the referee's just there to count the pinfall or the submission, and nothing else matters. That's what it probably means. But when you say the rules are relaxed, what does that mean? The countouts to 20 now? You can use a weapon? What does relaxed mean, Excalibur? Let us know what relaxed actually means instead of just saying it and then thinking we all know. Because actually what we do know is rules don't fucking matter in AEW. Rules don't matter at all because referees don't like to enforce them, or the referees are dumb and they make the referees look away for half the match, and so stuff could happen. So it's like rules don't matter in AEW anyways. So they're fighting on the outside, and Hardy was wiped out with a dive and then a clothesline off the guardrail. Back inside, Moxley tried to gotch pile driver, but Hardy backdropped out of it. Moxley then kept the attack going, slamming Hardy into the barricade before Hardy reversed the whip and sent Moxley right into the lap of the CMLL stars. Moxley jaw-jacked with them for a minute. He flipped them all off. He kind of shoved one of them, and then they kind of came back at him. And yeah, they went to a commercial break. Moxley caught a free, and we went to a commercial break. So, grabbed Excalibur's pen and stuck it through the piercing of Hardy's ear and twisted it. Hardy then managed to wiggle out and post Moxley to the floor before going back inside with a Manhattan drop and a leg drop combo for a near fall. Moxley exploded to his feet and tried anvil elbows before a stalling pile driver connected with the two. Moxley wanted a gotch pile driver on the apron, but Hardy countered into a twist of fate. There's a whisper in the wind that followed up as well by Hardy, who hit a corner drop kick, but took too long to go for the swanton, and Moxley cut him off and braked to the back before hitting him with a superplex. Hardy attempted a twist of fate, but Moxley spun out into a cutter. Hardy countered a paradigm shift and hit his split-legged pin, but didn't really get much of it. Moxley kicked out, though. There was a twist of fate that connected, but again, Hardy missed the swanton. Moxley sank into a rear naked choke so deep that Hardy actually went to sleep. So, the match is over. And Moxley offers Hardy a handshake, and Jeff goes. Then he gets out of the ring, sits on the apron, and goes. Again. Okay, whatever. Hardys are going heel, Jeff's going heel. I don't know. Then, the CMLL talent start yelling at Moxley. Yeah, whatever they're saying. I don't even know. Couldn't tell. Whether they're speaking Spanish or English, I don't know. And so they get in the ring and they jump Moxley. They're attacking Moxley 4-on-1. And so they're beating Moxley down after he jumps the rail to go after them. They get him back in the ring. They're beating him down. Excalibur said that the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club weren't here, as referees and security were tossed from the ring. Finally, Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker all jump in the ring to chase off the luchadors. What? If that ain't the most random bunch of people to come help Moxley. And you're going to say, nobody from the BCC's here? No Yuta? No Claudio? No Danielson at all? How does this make any sense? You just have these randos come out here and help Moxley. It makes absolutely no sense at all. So they stand tall, and the CMLL crew, they're all just jaw-jacking back and forth. It's whatever. The match was fun. I liked Jeff Hardy and Moxley, even though Jeff didn't look all that great. But besides that, cool. But then you got the randos coming out and helping Mox. So what is this going to be? A CMLL versus AEW thing? I know next week they're doing the trios. It's 3 of the CMLL guys against, I think it's, I'll probably have it written down here, Mox, Claudio, and Danielson. I should have it at the end of my notes. It is, Mox, Danielson, and Claudio versus Mystico, Volador, and I'm going to butcher his name again. Hechirio? Something like that. Also during this match, Excalibur warned us and let us know next week on Dynamite from Phoenix, Tony Khan will have a big announcement. Okay, what's that big announcement? I don't know. No clue. Let me move forward to the first of the two Dealer's Choice matches. It's Hangman Page against Swerve's pick, Toa Leona. And I think this is Toa Leona's first singles match in all of AEW. Like, he's been around for a while, but they've been doing the trios and the tag stuff with him. But I think this is his first singles match in AEW. And he looked good, like really good. Early on, Page tried to use some haymakers and his speed to offset Leona's power. After an eye poke by Leona, he charged Page, who hit a low bridge, and a frustrated Leona regrouped. Page met Leona with a springboard lariat on the apron. And he didn't really budge. Tried a second, didn't really budge. Tried another one. Leona caught him by the head and launched him clear over the top rope to the floor. Basically, he grabbed Hangman, and Hangman did a front flip over the top rope and crashed right on the floor. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. That looked like it hurt. So there was a running crossbody off the apron that flattened Page. As back inside the ring, Leona kept Page grounded before Page tried to mount a comeback, but was pounced to the floor. This didn't really look too good because they were too close to the ropes when he hit the pounce. And so, like, Page, got stuck between Leona and the ropes. And so then he had to, like, jockey his way over the top rope. It was all Leona during the picture-in-picture break who had Page trapped in a tree of woe and delivered a series of headbutts. This man got a big head. Got a big head. Hitting headbutts had to hurt. As even said it, this man's huge. Leona missed a running senton on the apron as Page tried a slingshot dive, but Leona just shrugged him off. Page ramped it up and hit a tope before back inside a big-time crossbody that knocked Leona down for a 2. Multiple roaring elbows from Page, who tried a deadeye, but the size of Leona caused the collapse. There was a thrust kick that landed flush by Leona, who wanted a ripcord, but Page threw a lariat of his own and ducked a Leona crossbody before swinging for the fences and another lariat. There was another deadeye that did actually connect, but Leona popped right up and crumbled Page with the headbutt. There was a ripcord discus clothesline that was hit for Leona, but Page kicked out at a very close 2. Page then tried to escape another senton on the apron, but Leona had it scouted. He put on the brakes and properly hit the move before trying a moonsault off the apron and missed. Page answers with a moonsault off the top rope. He wanted to go for the buckshot, but Leona ducked. Tried to do a pop-up Samoan drop, but Page countered into a crucifix and the Flash victory. So there we go. He reverses a Samoan drop into the win. So then we see the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas. They ain't got the Vince stashes no more. Oh, no, they don't. They do not have the little pencil Vince mustaches. They're not full goatees. Full goatees wrapping around. They're like, oh, we can't look like Vince anymore. They arrive at the building, thankfully sporting goatees and not, like I said, the McMahon stash. They're approached with the format for the show. And on the format were called Matt and Nick, which infuriated them. And they fined the person who gave it to them $500. Do you find this was so stupid. Matt was like, my brother could be a little bit of a hothead, but just make sure you pay the fine by the end of the day. Here's my thing. Do you find the guy that gave it to them, or do you find the guy that wrote it? Oh, you can't find the guy that wrote it, because the guy that wrote it's actually your boss, Tony Khan. This was stupid. This was dumb. This was so dumb. I don't like any of this stuff. This stuff does not pop me. I don't find it entertaining. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I get it. They're heels. They think they run the company. But what? The day's going to come where Tony goes, you're not in charge. This is my company. You know, because he can't talk on a live mic in front of a crowd without sounding like a goof. But regardless, they're doing the whole we started, we run, we're in charge of AEW gimmick. But where is this leading to? What is this, the end game? I have no earthly idea. Then we had Wardlow versus Commander. I'm going to say it right now, and I said it on Twitter. Most Wardlow matches bore me. Because nothing happens. Half the time, at least they're quick. This one, they tried to do stuff, and I think Commander, well, first off, I think Commander hurt Wardlow, and then Wardlow hurt himself. Adam Cole Was on commentary as the rest of the kingdom, the undisputed kingdom, were at ringside. Wardlow ragdolled Commander around the ring to start the match before Commander used his speed to try and take out the leg of Wardlow, who answered back with a pop-up power slam. A massive Beal followed this up. Commander was then on Wardlow's shoulders. He kind of looked around, and then he just threw Commander. Commander went flying up in the air, spun around a couple times, hit F10. Wardlow then sees himself on the screen and goes, he starts posing, right? Commander then rolls outside and countered a powerbomb into a Hurricane Rana into the steel steps. After an awkward-looking baseball slide, Wardlow sprung to the apron. The Commander kicked the ropes for a low blow. Commander then hit a rope walk drop kick and a Phoenix splash. But when he came down for the Phoenix splash, he kneed Wardlow right in the face. Wardlow was holding his throat, but that knee hit like boom, flush, right Wardlow's face. Wardlow's trying to shrug it off. You could see he's visibly like, no going. Like, that was the first 2 incidents. Wardlow connects with the hanging knee lift out of the corner before delivering a powerbomb for the win. Yet it was a weird powerbomb because he got Commander up, and then basically his right knee gave out, and he just drops Commander, falls back on the ropes, and then goes for the pin. So Taz immediately is like, something looks off. Looks like there maybe an injury to Wardlow, his knee. He looks like he's favoring his knee. And so the camera's just tight on Wardlow, and he goes, fuck, right? He's pissed. He knows he's hurt. So Roderick Strong gets in the ring. Mike Bennett gets in the ring. They start dealing out some punishment to Commander when out would come Orange Cassidy. Cameras then go to the outside, and they're looking at Adam Cole, and then you see this. I don't know if you probably won't be able to see it on camera, so I won't be able to do it. You barely see off to the side of the frame. Wardlow jumps out of the ring and puts no weight on the right leg. He literally jumps down, and you can see the right leg. He jumps down off the apron, and the right leg's like hovering in the air. Then all of a sudden, we get the big wide shot, and Wardlow is over by the ring steps, and he just goes, and smashes the ring steps like he's the Incredible Hulk. So they do this thing in the ring where Strong yelled to Commander, you should have taken the deal last Friday. Now you're going to pay the price. Orange Cassidy and Best Friends come out. They have a little stare down. Strong then thanks them for coming out, and then they leave. So they all leave, and Wardlow is limping so bad. He has already pulled his knee pad down, and he's limping bad. Like real bad. So don't have any updates on the Wardlow injury, but Wardlow, you could tell, was visibly upset and knew something was wrong. And I believe Wardlow did suffer some sort of a knee injury. We don't know the details. We don't know the severity. Hopefully it's nothing bad. So, yeah, if we hear anything further on a potential Wardlow knee injury, we will let you guys know. Moving forward, Tony Schiavone is backstage with Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Darby Allin, and Sting. They're here to talk about the tag title match next week in Phoenix. Schiavone reminds everybody, no physicality tonight. As Starks poke first, says it's been quite a journey for Sting here in AEW. A journey that started with him, who reminded Sting his first win in AEW came against him. Allin said the Starks is full of shit. And this isn't about respecting Sting. It's about stepping stones, which Sting is anything but. Starks said next week, 2 things will happen. He and Big Bill will retain the titles, and Starks will get his win back from Sting. Starks will make sure that Sting doesn't make it to his retirement match while he doesn't respect Allin one bit. This is all right. I actually liked this because it was building interest into next week's match. It's telling us, if you don't remember, there's history between Sting and Ricky Starks. So this is more than just a title match. So, I mean, there was at least this that we got some story in. But most everything else, no. So Big Bill starts talking and said Allin and Sting run their mouths about how Sting will retire as a tag team champion. Just like everyone else, they're overlooking Bill and Starks. And they'll take their frustrations out on them next week. Sting said that he admires Starks, but back in the day, since he's the only one who had balls enough to talk smack, the respect has to be earned. Sting told Bill, the only difference between he and the other giants he's faced in the past was that they were killers. He's not sure yet about Bill. Allin said he respects Starks, but every time he points a finger at anyone else, the only one to blame is himself. Starks tried to get Allin to hit him, but Sting held Allin back, and Allin said that he will hit Starks in Phoenix next week. This was good. I really like this, and I thought it was a great way to build up interest for this match. Then we got Chris Jericho versus Kyle Fletcher, which again, another thing on this show that did have like stakes, because the stakes here were if Jericho beats Fletcher, he gets Takeshita next week. So at least there was a reason for this match to happen. It was like, hey, Jericho's got to win this to get the match that he wants. So I can't knock this. The match itself was fine. It wasn't great or anything. The match itself was fine. Both men slugged it out early with some slaps and some shots and some whatevers. Fletcher hit a surprise Michinoku driver and got a close 2 really early in the match. Jericho low bridged Fletcher and hit a springboard drop kick to the floor. As outside, Jericho chased Callis around the ring, but Fletcher cut him off. Back inside the ring, Fletcher controlled the action until Jericho cut him off in the ropes and hit 10 punches into a Hurricane Rana. Hobbs then ran some distraction as Callis tripped up Jericho and Fletcher regained control into a commercial break. After the break, Fletcher connected on a snap half and half suplex and followed up with a brainbuster for a 2. Jericho mounted a comeback with a double sledge off the top and following that with the bulldog. Jericho slowly went for a lion salt, but Callis took the ref and Hobbs decked Jericho. Too much interference. Fletcher tried putting Jericho away, but a counter led to a walls to Jericho. They sank in deep. Fletcher finally made it to the ropes and caught Jericho with a nice thrust kick. Both men slowly got up, and at the same time, Jericho struck first and hit a code breaker. Both slugged it out until Fletcher hit an enziguri to cut off Jericho on the ropes. Fletcher tried a brainbuster on the top rope, and oh my god, did this look scary. Tries this brainbuster off the top rope. They start coming down, and they just fall. Look like Jericho's head crashes on the top turnbuckle pad. Oh, this did not look good. Kind of just fall to the mat and lay there for a second, both of them. Fletcher wanted to go for a powerbomb, but Jericho backdropped out of it and went for the pin, but only got a 2. Fletcher then went up with another thrust, got up and hit another thrust kick as Jericho tried to answer with a Judas effect, but Fletcher dodged it. Fletcher then tried a dive to the floor, but Jericho hit a Judas effect in midair. Hobbs was shoved down. As back inside the ring, Jericho hit a spinning Judas effect off the top and picked up the victory. So there we go. Chris Jericho wins and gets Takeshita next week. Speaking of Takeshita, post-match, Takeshita's music hits. He walks out on the stage and he's like, yo, next week. So yeah, next week on Dynamite, it will be Konosuke Takeshita versus Chris Jericho. There's a video package of Deonna Purrazzo talking about the meaning of her tattoo, that she has the similar matching tattoos with Toni Storm. The duck on her ankle is something she got with Toni Storm while in Japan. And that only means who she was, but who she has become, and questions what the tattoo really means to Storm. So then we got just a fucking 5 minutes of nothing. When I mean nothing, there was nothing in this bang bang scissor game addressed to the fans is what they called it. Literally nothing happened here, and Jay White looked like he did not want to be here. So Jay White took the mic and said, well, he likes the scissoring thing they claimed in Daddy Ass do. The Bullet Club have their own thing, and told the fans, guns up. Max Caster said they've been the most dominant trio for years and told Bowens to get card blade. Bowens went under the ring and brought it out, but was reminded by Colton they got rid of him a while ago. Instead, they got Juice Board. So they're bringing a cardboard cutout of Juice Robinson instead. Austin was then to go for the home run line. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. And then Billy cuts him off. And they're literally just standing there looking at each other. And Austin's like, hey, that's kind of my thing. And Billy goes, yeah, but it was my thing when you were still in my... Never mind, we're not going to go there. How about I just show you how it's done? And he said, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. The crowd goes, suck it. And he goes, but this is a new generation, so guns up. And I was like, okay. We then get a 6-way scissor, and the segment ends. What? This was like 5 minutes from start to finish, entrance to end, and it did absolutely nothing. There was nothing here of note at all. A waste of 5 minutes. What are we supposed to think that they're all just getting along? That's what this was supposed to do? They're all copacetic, happy, yay, yay? I don't like it. It was dumb. So in time, as Sonya Storm makes her entrance with Luther and Mariah May, she joins commentary for the upcoming match, Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie. So like I said earlier, Taya and Deonna are great together. They do wonderful matches. They have wonderful matches every time they're in the ring together, and it never disappoints. So this was, again, a really fun match between 2 women who have worked numbers of matches against each other. Purrazzo worked the arm and grounded Valkyrie, who managed to pick the leg and wrap up Purrazzo in a submission. Purrazzo got the ropes and took down Valkyrie with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to the floor right in front of Storm, who said, how do you do? She basically looked at Valkyrie and was like, how do you do? On the opposite side of the ring, Johnny TV trash-talked and distracted Deonna, who was met with a spear on the stage by Valkyrie, who made out with her husband, taking us to a break. After the break, Purrazzo managed a leg sweep into the edge of the ring. Purrazzo was in control and hit another leg sweep into a Venus de Milo, but Valkyrie escaped. Storm said neither of these women compared to Wendy Richter, and says she's happy to be in New Orleans as she was given a lovely pair of beads when she arrived, but not for her neck. Commentary laughed pretty hard on that one. Both ladies traded leg submissions before Valkyrie hit a sliding lariat for a 2. Purrazzo was then sent Valkyrie to the floor with the baseball slide, and there's a little face-off with Storm before launching Valkyrie into the AEW Women's Champion. Storm complained that someone pissed in her seat as back inside. Purrazzo wrapped Valkyrie up in a pretzel and got the submission victory. So there we go. Deonna does win. Deonna is now ranked number 1 according to the rankings. And I assume at Revolution, it's Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. Ray Paquette's backstage with Darby Allin and asked about his admiration for the Young Bucks. Allin was confused, but Paquette just nodded along, and the Bucks walked in with headsets and told Allin to answer the question. Matthews said they come in peace, and they love our Darby Allin, as he's a young, hot star, just like they are. They're confused why he's allowing a 65-year-old man to leech off of him, but suggest the Bucks and Allin join up as the new hot emo trio. Nicholas finally cuts the joke and says that he's been ducking them, but Allin said all that's on his mind is the tag titles next week. Allin leaves, and Matthews said, "I guess they'll just have to get his attention another way," before telling Paquette she's doing a great job. Like, what? I don't know what this is. What? Did someone explain this to me? I don't get it. Once Samoa Joe comes out to do commentary for the main event match, the Swerve Strickland and Rob Van Dam. Before the match starts, Hangman jumps up on the screen and says, "This ain't just a regular old match. This is a hardcore match." Well, I didn't know dealer's choice means you get to pick the stip as well. I thought dealer's choice was just the opponent. So Joe was thrilled with RVD as the opponent for Strickland, saying only the top talent show up to try and get a shot at the AEW World title. The bell sounded, and RVD just literally takes a steel chair. Let's pretend this water bottle steel chair. And this is Swerve, and just boom, right into Swerve's face. Chair right in the face. He just throws it. And that bottle was closed because it wasn't empty. So they immediately start fighting on the floor. RVD continues whipping Strickland into the railing and into the front row. After a slingshot leg drop on the apron, RVD draped Strickland on the railing and hit the signature spinning leg drop off the apron. Joe nodded in delight as we went to a break. Back from the break, Strickland was in control. He sent RVD into the corner, head first into a steel chair. Strickland tried another whip into the chair, but RVD turned the tides and sent him crashing to the chair instead, and then delivered a rolling thunder. There was a rolling drop kick into the corner with a chair that crushed Strickland for a 2. RVD wanted a monkey flip, but Strickland countered into a powerbomb onto a chair for a 2 of his own. Both men traded counters until Strickland was crouched on the top rope and was about to deliver a dive, but Brian Cage appeared and shoved RVD off top. Hook then sprinted to the ring with a chair and cracked Cage in the back as both men brawled to the back. RVD then got a quick roll up for a 2 and popped Strickland with a kick flush in the face. RVD then wanted another rolling thunder, but this time Strickland countered into a rolling flatliner. They were kind of just both rolling at one point. Strickland booted RVD into a seated position on a chair ringside and hit the swerve stomp off the apron. Joe demanded doctors check on RVD, as back inside the ring, RVD chucked a chair at Strickland on the top rope, causing Strickland to fall through a table at ringside. RVD brought Strickland back inside, placed a chair on him, but missed a 5-star frog splash, allowing Strickland to hit a house call with a chair for a 2. Despite being cut off this the first time, Strickland sent RVD crashing to the mat, mocked the RVD pose, and then hit the swerve stomp to pick up the victory. So there we go. Swerve does get the win. The post-match, Hangman Page walked to the ring with a microphone in hand. Page congratulated Strickland, the evil bastard, and said he could only assume that they're both at the top of the rankings that will be released later tonight. Page says that he'll never let Strickland get a shot at Samoa Joe and the AEW World title. Page says he is the next in line for the world title, not Strickland, who laughed in his face. Well, according to Tony Khan, Swerve's actually ranked number 1. You're number 2, guy. He laughed and said, "You can't beat me." Page says the 2 times Strickland won, he needed help from the Mogul Embassy. But if it was one-on-one, Strickland couldn't lace his boots. Strickland said he'll give Page what he wants and prove to him who the better man is. One final match and then we're done. Winner gets Joe. So then they say again, Tony Khan has made this match. So they tell us Tony Khan's made this match official and that the rankings will be released later tonight. And we saw the rankings, and the rankings are kind of crap. Like, at least before, they gave us stats on these rankings. They told us who's ranked where and their win-loss record. Now, we ain't got none of that. It's just who ranked where. So as we look at it, and we'll pull this back up on the screen really fast. It's like, okay, Swerve's number 1, Hangman's number 2. They say they're both, quote unquote, undefeated. We don't know that. We know that because we pay attention to the show, but we really don't. Like these women. Let's go look really fast. Mariah May cage match. How many matches has she actually had in AEW? Let's look this up. 2. She beat Queen Aminata, and she beat Lady Frost. Okay, let's keep that in mind. 2-0. Sky Blue. Let's look up Sky Blue's record. Why is Sky Blue not coming up? Let's do it this way. Sky Blue cage. We're looking just in 2024. None of these Jericho Cruise matches should count. There was a dark match where she won, but I don't know if that counts. She beat Kira Hogan, so there's 1. She beat Chris Statlander, there's 2. Nope, Chris Statlander is in 23. That's just 1 match that should actually count for AEW in the women's division. Because, yeah. So she actually should be behind Mariah May. Like, what the hell? Let's see Shida real fast. Hikaru Shida cage match. Shida also 2-0 in 2024. All right. Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa. 2-0 in 2024. And I think Deonna's got 3 wins now. But it's like, first off, Sky Blue should be 5th, not Mariah May. If we want to really go and talk about that. Roderick Strong. Why is Roddy ranked 5th? Like, what, he's got 1 match? 1 win? That's it? Like, none of this makes any sense. As far as all that goes, that is AEW Dynamite. Let me get the Twitch poll going for you guys to vote in. What Dynamite? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. So go vote there on Twitch. If you are watching on Twitch, let us know what you thought of the show, and we'll check the other polls. Refresh. Refresh. So as far as the Twitter poll does go, the X poll, 56% liked the show, 24% didn't like the show, and 20% thought it was just all right. Look at the YouTube community poll. 53% liked the show, 24% didn't like the show, and 23% did like the show. Person says 7 out of 10. This person says it was decent. This person says, so we are getting a big announcement from Tony Khan next week. Most likely be underwhelming, disappointment, and lackluster. This person says boring, and this person says it was pretty good. As far as the YouTube live poll does go, 54% liked the show, 25% thought it was just all right, and 20% didn't like it. Also, while we wait for the Twitch poll, announced for the next couple of shows, on Rampage will be Mystico, Hichirio, Voldemort Jr., and Mascara Dorada against Matt Sydal, Christopher Daniels, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker. Private Party will take on Pop Flight yet again. Like, what's it, the 3rd time now? The AEW Tag Team Champions will be taking on Alex Reynolds and John Silver in a non-title match. Willow Nightingale will be taking on Queen Aminata. As we just saw, Queen Aminata is only in this company to lose, to pad people's records. And we will hear from Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. As far as Collision does go on Saturday, Bryan Danielson will be taking on Hichirio. And then next week, Swerve Strickland will take on Adam Hangman Page, with the winner getting a shot at Samoa Joe at Revolution for the AEW World Championship. Rick Starks and Big Bill will defend the AEW Tag Team Championships against Sting and Darby Allin. Chris Jericho will be taking on Konosuke Takeshita, and John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudia Katz-Newley will be taking on the team of Mystico, Volador Jr., and Hichirio, with Tony Khan making a big announcement. So there we go. That is everything that has been announced. And as far as the polls do go, 50% liked it. 50% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Now, shortly following this, I'm going to be live, Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, streaming the brand new Silent Hill game. Silent Hill, what's it called? Silent Hill... The Short Message. We're going to play that. It's a PS5 game that just came out today. We're going to stream that game and see what it's all about. It gives me PT vibes from the trailer, so let's go see what it is. So I will be streaming that in a little bit. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. With that, guys, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you back here Friday for the wrap-up and Friday Night SmackDown. Have a good one, guys.